Hello everybody, welcome to Charles Sturt University IT Masters Joint Course Configuring Server 2012. We are in week 2 and this week we are going to cover how you can configure Server 2012. For the persons that don't know me, my name is Erdal Ozkaya. I'm a MCT, MVP, CIA, and I do have many other credentials under my belt. MCT means Microsoft Certified Trainer, MVP means Microsoft Most Valuable Professional, CIA is the EC Council Certified Ethical Instructor. As you can guess, I teach many Microsoft classes, EC Council classes, and I'm one of the so-called security experts, Windows experts when it comes to IT field. If you want more information about myself, please go to my blog. My blog is www.yourmct.com. My email address is also on the screen. Please feel free to email me if you got any questions. This week I'm at Madrid and I'm here for Microsoft TechEd Europe. I'm delivering 2 sessions here and I'm looking to see most of you forward at TechEd Australia. Hopefully you'll be joining us at TechEd Australia. If not, in any other IT Masters course. If not, at Facebook or Twitter, feel free to join me or follow me. Okay, what are we going to cover this week? This week we are going to cover how you can configure Server 2012. Before I start with Server 2012, it's good to highlight some of the features of Server 2012. The standard edition is a low density or it's designed for non-virtual environments. It doesn't mean you can't do any virtualization. Yes, it comes only with one virtualization license. It is a full server functionality which gives you 2 virtual instance rights. The data center edition is designed for highly virtualized private and hybrid cloud environments. Again, it is a full server functionality, this time with unlimited virtual instances. There is also Server 2012 Essentials. What is the Essentials? The Essential is replaced with Small Business Server. It is simple interface. It has many of the stuff pre-configured, especially when it comes to connectivity on the cloud services. But you have to keep in mind, if you have any virtualization in mind, then this is not the right operating system for you. We have also the Foundation server. What is the Foundation? It is designed for economical general purpose server. As I said, the general purpose server functionality is there for file services, DNS, DHCP services, or some other basic general services. Keep in mind, you will not have any virtualization rights with the server as well. When it comes to Server 2012 Hyper-V servers, the Hyper-V is designed as virtualization environment. It's purely there for host your virtual environments. Then there are different versions of Server 2012 as Stephen covered those last week in our first session. Okay, what is Server 2012 Core? The Core edition was a nightmare when it was first introduced in 2008 because many people, they were saying, oh my god, this looks like a normal server. Let's enter Control-Delete, press Control-Delete, enter the username and password. When you log in, there was nothing, just a command prompt. And the command prompt is designed only to let you install the stuff if you know the command line versions. It was a bit hard for people. They get used to Windows environment for years, but the good thing was there for Linux users, as they were always complaining, hey, we want a server, but we don't need all this fancy right clicks. We don't need all this fancy GUI. Guess what? Server 2012 was there for you. Okay, what has changed in 2012 Server Core? Why is 2012 Server Core the operating system for all of us? Easy. Server 2012 Server Core is there, same as 2008. So it is only command line based, but you have to keep in mind that you can also now install graphical interface on the spot. Let's say you need to install Server 2012 core, but you don't know how to use the command heads. No problem. All what you have to do is basically double click, all what you have to do is use the PowerShell command head, which will enable you the graphical interface. Do what you have to do in the GUI environment, then uninstall the GUI. That's so easy. The best benefit of Server 1012 Core is more secure. Why it's more secure? Because it has less graphical interface. Because it has less graphical interface, it is requiring less resources and it is less intensive as well. Keep in mind, Server Core 2000 is the default installation path in 2012. You can always convert it to the graphical version, or you can always manage everything locally via the PowerShell. If you want remote management, yeah, you can do it. You can enable it, and the good thing is, as soon as you enable remote management, you can also enable remote management via the GUI environment as well. Okay, what kinds of roles can be installed in Server 1012? First of all, you can install any server role that you can do in 2008, in 2003, in 2000, in NT4, 3.5, and the rest. Usually we have functions such as web server, domain controller, certificate server, and we have roles. What is the role? Roles is made up for service components that provide additional functionality which is associated to a role, such as DHCP services, such as print services. We will cover most of the topics in week 4. In Server 2012, we have still the server manager, which will enable us to manage the server as the name states. You can also use the role deployment visits, and it will give you the most beautiful options when it comes to configurations. Keep in mind, some of the server roles are dependent to some other roles, and you have to install the dependent server roles before you can go ahead with any role installations. Okay, what is a feature? Features are components that support the server, such as Windows Server Backup or failover clustering. Basically, you will go to the feature component and enable these features via the widget. Keep in mind, usually you do not provide a service directly to clients on the network, but you will go and enable and associate to a client. Also, roles can have features as dependencies, as I said a few seconds ago. And features on demand are the features that need to be installed using a mounted image as a source. Alright, I will do a demo very shortly. Okay, now my demo environment is ready. All what I'm going to show you is how easy it is to change Server Core to a GUI environment. As I said a few minutes ago, to use Server Core, all what you have to do is basically install Server Core, press Ctrl-Delete, and all what you're going to see is the screen which is in front of you. In this case, I log in as administrator, and all what I have to do is now click PowerShell. While clicking PowerShell, I will enable PowerShell. Okay, now it's time to install GUI. All what I have to do is basically type get Windows Features GUI, and as you can see, I got the graphical user interface installed. From there, I'm typing the computer management script, and guess what? Here we go. I got computer management right in front of me. Now I'm gonna type Server Manager, and boom, I got Server Manager graphical interface right installed in front of me. I can just go to Event Viewer. I can install the roles and features. I can open, close anything which I like. And this is the end of my first demo. Alright, you saw how easy it was to install graphical user interface via PowerShell and Server Core. And only for this reason, I would highly recommend for all of you to have at least a Hyper-V instance which you can practice your Server Core skills, as it is much more secure. Okay, what is Server Manager? Let's talk about Server Manager. Server Manager is there since, 2000 I think. It will help you to manage multiple server roles and a network from one single console. You can add roles, features, you can launch PowerShell, you can do events, you can perform server configuration tasks as I done it 2 seconds ago via my PowerShell script. Is this all? No. You can also use the all well-known admin scripts, admin tools. What is the admin tools? The admin tools are basically the place which will help you to manage your Active Directory, your Active Directory users and computers, your DNS console, your Event Viewer, IAS, Performance Manager, and etc. Okay, let's make a quick demo again. I'm switching to my demo. Alright, here's my dev environment. This is my Server 2012 server. And all what I have to do is click the icon. Once I click the icon, it will open the Server Manager. I can go and view my servers. I can select my network configurations. I can see what's going on in my DC. I can, in this case, I'm going to create a server group. I have different nodes. I'm checking my performance. Now I would like to check my DNS. It's online, but I can't get some results back. I would like to check my shares. Hey, look at my shares. It also shows how much free space I do got. I can just create a new share straight from there. I can do many different tasks. I can also go straight to my dashboard and see all my server groups from one location. I can create a server group. What is a server group? Let's create first a server group. So with a server group, all what you have to do is basically select the nodes that you want to manage. In this case, I got node 1, DC, and node 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all the servers as one, and I'm going to call it infrastructure. As soon as I call it infrastructure, it will create an infrastructure group in my dashboard. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a role. With this server role, I'm going to make it a role-based installation. I'm going to select the server pools, in this case DC. I click next. I select the server role that I would like to install, in this case volume activation services. You can also install any features you like, such as Windows Backup. Now it is telling me, are you sure you want to install the server role? As soon as I click yes, it will install this server role into all computer groups. Remember, many years ago, we did not have this option. If you wanted to install one server role and multiple computers, you had two options. A, write a script. B, go and install all these options one by one. Or there was one more option which you could run again. It's sort of scripting. You could just write an answer file and you could just run it through the answer file, but it was not the easiest solution in the world. With this option now, you have the ability to create a server group and do everything once. It's like Active Directory. You know, in Active Directory, you can just create one security group and it will, or you can create one printer and you can share it with the whole organization. Or you can use, in the group policy, for example, you can restrict some rights and pass it through to a whole organization or to select it or use. It's very similar to this. As soon as you create a server group and you select the group members, you can now start to manage all in one from one location. Again, we will talk about this more in the full course, so this is just the configuration part, and I think it's important to know this bit. Alright, now we have a Server 2012 up and running. What is next? It's important to check the post-installation configurations. As soon as you install Server 2012, you will have the option Server Manager to double check what's going on in your server. In this case, you should check your server name, your computer name. If it's something weird, please change it to something meaningful, such as London Server 1, or for example Sydney Exchange 01 if you got more than one server. Then double check your domain, if you joined your domain or not. Check if your firewall is on or not. Of course, we highly recommend to have your firewall up and running. Then check if you have remote desktop enabled or disabled. If you have it disabled, and if you need it, of course, make sure it's enabled. Make sure you got an IP address. Make sure you run all your services, your updates. Make sure you're in the right time zone, and it's important to activate the server. Okay, if you're not joined to a domain, all what you have to do is basically go to computer name, domain change, enter your computer name. In this case, I'm adding my computer name as Wagga Wagga. As you know, the CSU or the IT Masters campus is in Wagga Wagga. I click domain, I enter, it will pop up with the username and password. You can just add it in, and boom, you are part of the domain. You can also offline join to a domain. All what you have to do is the djoin or DJ commandlets. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with the dcpromo.exe. Yes, you can still use it. If not, you can use the djoin or djoin. You know, I like to call it djoin. And you can just use this commandlet to join to the domain. And as I said 2 minutes ago, it is important to activate the server, as if you don't activate the server, you will not just discriminate the licensing rights, you will also have every few days annoying messages saying that your server is not genuine. Okay, if you're having server 2000 core, you can do all this while selecting the right options. In this case, if you want to join domain, you're going to press 1. If you want to check your Windows update, you're going to press 5. You're going to enter, you're going to press 5 and enter. It's so easy. Okay, let's talk about storage. What is new in storage, how you can manage this types and performance. Alright, as most of you are familiar, there are many different hard drive types. We got the IDE disk, the SATA disk, the SCSI disk, the SAA disk, and finally the SSD disk. The cheaper the disk is, the slower the performance is usually. Of course, these days, everybody's moving towards SSD. I'm not gonna do a plus here and teach you which hard drive is faster and better, but usually the IDE used to be many years ago the only option. Then the SATA came out, the SCSI came out with 15,000 RPM. But hey, guess what? The SSD doesn't have any moving part anymore. And as you can see, the performance is far high compared to previous versions. Okay, let's talk about DAS. What is DAS? DAS is the direct attached storage. The DAS disks are physically attached to the server. The advantages are basic. It's easy to configure. It's inexpensive. But when it comes to isolation, it's hard because all what you can do is you can attach this disk to one single server, and they are usually slower. We have also NAS. What is a NAS? NAS is basically network attached storage. The storage which is attached to a dedicated storage device and access to the network shares. The speed is not just depending on the hard drive, it is also depending on your network speeds. It's usually inexpensive, very easy to use. I got 2 at home. The issue is, as I said, not just this time, also network speed. And if you have a huge busy network, this is easy to tell that it's not an enterprise solution. But the good thing is NAS offers a centralized storage at an affordable price. Then, if you ever worked in an enterprise, I'm pretty sure you have one or more than one SANs attached. It's very fast to use. It can be expanded easily. It is the centralized storage solution with high-level redundancy. It has some disadvantages, such as it's expensive and you have to have some specialized skills. You can use SANS via iSCSI. What is iSCSI? iSCSI is basically the simulated SCSI, which you can use over remote desktops. Okay, what is RAID? If you are in IT, then you should know what RAID is. If you don't know what RAID is, please go to Wikipedia and review all your skills. So what is RAID again? RAID combines multiple disks into one single logical unit. And the aim of this is to provide fault tolerance and performance. RAID provides fault tolerance by using either disk mirroring or parity information. Let me draw you some stuff here. Let's say this is one hard drive, two hard drives, and three hard drives. They are all same size. Let's say they're all 10 gigabytes. Okay, sorry for my writing. I'm not using my tablet. That's why I have to draw it up. Okay, each hard disk has some priorities. So basically, some such as partitions, and this is priorities basically. Let me draw this for you. Not party. Alright, this is the parity. Okay, well, what does this mean? Let's say this hard drive dies. You buy a new hard drive, you reinitialize the RAID, and now we got three hard drives, still three hard drives, but hey, what's going to happen to this information here? How can this know that what was lost in the old hard disk which has died? It will get all the information from the other hard disk as soon as you rebuild the RAID. So basically it will copy the information from here and there, and you will have your storage system again up and running. Keep in mind, with RAID usually one hard disk has the ability to fail, in this case like RAID 5. RAID can provide performance benefits by spreading the disk input-output across multiple disks. It can be configured for using several different levels, and keep in mind, this will never ever replace the server backup. Why? What if all your hard disk dies? Here's an example from real life. I had RAID 50. Yes, RAID 50 in an environment, and you're not going to believe me. More than 10 hard disks died in one day. While we tried to fix the 10 hard disks, we noticed that actually most of the hard disks died because of the power failure. And it was the manufacturer's fault in the hard disk. I don't want to mention the brand now. So what happened? Yeah, we did send the hard disk back to the manufacturer. They said, oops, sorry, here's new hard disk for you. But what happened to the data? If I had not had proper backup solution, probably I wouldn't have a job back then, because just relying on this RAID is not the proper solution. Okay, there are many different RAID levels. Here's an example of RAID 0, which you can set without parity or mirroring. Basically, everything is spread off to hard disk. RAID 1 is mirror drives. Basically, whatever you got in this hard drive will be in this hard drive as well, as you can see, 1-to-1. RAID 5, this is for block level stripe set, parity, distribute across all disks, and this gives you the ability to have more than one hard disk to fail. RAID 6, this is a block level stripe set with parity distributed across all disks. You can see A1 is here. It is also having some information here. RAID 1+0, which means each pair of disks is mirrored, then the mirrored disks are striped. This is basically the new storage. This is not the new storage. This is the storage system which has been used in 3012. As you can see, there is not much changes. I think I got, give me one. Okay, my dev environment is ready, and this is how the new storage spaces work. Again, you go to Server Manager, you go to File and Storage Services. From there, you can create storage pools. What is a storage pool? It's a collection of disks. You type the pool name. In this case, I call it pool 1. You can select the physical hard disk. As you can see, all of them are SCSI in this case. They're all virtual disks. You can select any hard disk which is attached to the server. And as soon as I click create, it will get information and it will check the status. If it's healthy, it will create it straight away. Now you can create a virtual disk in this pool via the wizard. Next, you create the name. You just put a description if you want to. You can select the storage layout. In this case, I want parity. You can have a provisioning type, thin or fixed. Fixed is the fixed storage. Thin is where it allows you to grow up. In this case, I want to select 1000 gigabytes. As soon as I click create, it will have it for me up and running. Now I'm creating a new volume from this 30. I click next. From there, I select the size. I assign a drive letter. I select the file systems. I select if I want to enable data duplication or not. In this case, no. I make sure everything's as I want. Yes. As soon as I click create, I will have a temporary disk. Now I can go and add physical disk. I can add a virtual disk. In this case, just for demo purposes, I'm selecting a physical disk. I'm adding more data, more storage, as I filled my 1 terabyte easily. And that's it. You just saw how easy Windows 2012 storage services is. Okay, let's talk about the partition table format. What is MBR? Again, if you are an IT and if you ever installed operating system, and you will know that the MBR is the master boot record. It's a standard partition table format since early 80s. It supports a maximum 4 primary partitions per drive, and you can have partition disk up to 2 terabytes. Oh my god, this used to be big in 1980s, but these days there are bigger hard drives, there are bigger storage requirements. So what are we going to do? Let's talk about GPT. What is the GPT? It is the new version of MBR. It supports up to 128 partitions per drive, and you can have partitions disk up to 18 exabytes. So if you have disks smaller than 2 terabytes, MBR is perfectly fine for you. But if you have disks more than 2 terabytes and you are installing the operating system in one whole disk, then GPT is the right solution for you. Okay, let's talk about disk types. What are the disk types? We have a basic disk, dynamic disk, and disk volumes. Basic disk is the default installation option. What it does basically, let me just open Disk Manager. Alright, I go to settings. I'm just opening my Disk Manager. Disk Manager. It should come shortly. Here it is. So I go from there to Disk Management, and you will see that all my disks are basic. This is the removable disk. If I want to change it to a dynamic disk, all what I have to do is right click, convert to dynamic disk. You can select all the disks that you want to create. As soon as you click OK, it will start to convert to disk for a dynamic disk, convert your basic to dynamic disk. Keep in mind, this is a one-way option. As soon as you do that, you have no way to go back. Okay, what is the basic disk doing? This is installed for basic storage, and it's a default. It has nothing fancy on it. Dynamic disk can be modified without restarting Windows. So as soon as I click OK, it will divert it to dynamic disk, and it will give us some options for configuring volumes. So the partition is not going to call partitions anymore. They're going to call volumes. And as you know, like we can have maximum 4 partitions, or partitions levels was limited to the drive letters. Where now with dynamic disk we can have basically unlimited partitions. Okay. What are the disk volume requirements? This is a system volume for hardware specific files that are required for start the server. You can boot the volume for Windows operating system files. Okay, when you select a file system, you probably noticed I had also oh no, that's, for example, this one here. You can see that I got attached. I got more than 1 terabyte disk attached here. You can see the task. What you can do, you can take it offline. You can just have many different options regarding your storage spaces from here. Again, I would like to show you one more thing here. 1 second. I go to my computer. I go to my manage. From there I go to disk management. And you will see that all my disks are NTFS. And this is a removable disk. It's FAT32. So what is this FAT32? What is this NTFS? FAT is the basic file system. The partition size has limitations like 2 GB. FAT32, which was my hard disk, which has larger, it supports larger spaces, and extended FAT is developed for flash drives. Basically, FAT is there for 2 GB. Extended FAT is there for bit bigger hard drives. And usually removable storages are like that, comes like that. NTFS is the default operating system for businesses. I don't know if you remember, we had Windows NT4 and Windows 98. Windows NT4, NT was the NT file system because it had the enhanced new technology security features inbuilt. There, Windows 98 was not supporting it. Then we had Windows 98 Second Edition, we had Windows ME, Windows 2000 came with NT 5.0. Then we had XP, NT 5.1. Then we had NT 6, Vista 6.1, 6.2, and now Windows 8. The NTFS provides basically metadata. It's there for auditing and journaling. It has enhanced security features such as I can just go to any network file, and if I see these security options, which means then I'm using NTFS. With the FAT partition, let me just go to my computer again. My computer, hold on. Here's my computer, and I had a FAT artist. This is my camera's SD card. I go to properties. I go to, as you can see, that's FAT32, and I don't have any security options. But now I'm going to my NTFS hard disk. I will see security there, and I can basically have many different security features. What is REFS? What is REFS? Seriously, this must be something new. Okay, REFS. This is the new resilient file system. It's the default in 2012, and it's there to maximize the data availability, minimize the errors, and calculus, basically downtime. The data integrity will ensure that your business critical data is protected from errors and available whenever you need it. It's designed to provide scalability, performance, and the constant growing dataset sizes with dynamic workloads. It has some integrity features, it has some availability features, it is scalable, it is compatible with back version, it has the proactive error identifications which will check your hard drives if it has any issues, if it has any triggers, and it will make sure that your computer is always up and running. So it has metadata integrity checksums, it integrates streams with user data, it allocates on write transactional model, you can have larger volume files, directory sizes, you can create storage pooling, it's there for virtualization, you can have data stripping for performance and redundancy, you can have disk scrubbing for protection against latent disk errors, you can enable resiliency, you can have corruption support, and it's there to share storage pools across machines. What are mount points? Okay, I will answer, I can see a few questions. I will answer all these questions towards the end, okay? We have not too much to go. So, oops, sorry for that. I'm just trying to bring my slide back. So, we have a few more slides before I answer all these questions. Okay, what are mount points and links? A mount point is a reference to a location on a disk that enables Windows operating system access to disk resources. You will use usually mount points to disks or folders with drive letters. When you do not have drive letters available for creating new volumes, then this is also a good option. You can always add this space without changing the folder structure. It is a link with a reference for another file or directory. You can have the link via symbolic file link or soft link or symbolic drive link or directory structure. What is extending and shrinking volumes? I'm pretty sure most of you will remember Partition Magic, the software which was purchased by Symantec, which was enabling you to play with the partitions. I was always wondering why Microsoft is not having this inbuilt to the operating system, as we all need to play with our partition sizes. Finally, it's there since the previous version of Windows. You can now resize your NTFS volumes from the Windows operating system. As I said, it's from the previous version, starting from Windows Vista. When you want to resize the disk, all what you have to do is you can extend and shrink NTFS volume. Let me just quickly demonstrate it for you. I'm opening my computer management. I go to manage my computer. I go to disk management. This is my Windows 8 PC, by the way. Now you will see that I have a huge space here. I want to shrink the volume. It will run a query. It will see if I can shrink this volume or not. And yes, I can shrink it. Basically, my hard disk is 243 gigabytes. I can size able shrink up to 12 gigabytes, and this is the maximum which I can do because this is my operating system drive and the others needed to my other files. As soon as I click shrink, it will create a separate partition. Can I do it in a fat partition? Let's see. Oh no. All that I can do is format it or change the drive letter. So another benefit of using NTFS, and as it was highlighted here, you have to have NTFS for this. Be careful, this might give you exam. So REFS volumes can only be extended, not shrink. FAT32 or XFAT cannot be resized, as I just showed to you. You can shrink a volume only up to immobile files. If you have a bad cluster on your disk, it will prevent you from shrinking a volume. Okay, I can see a few questions. I will answer all these questions a bit later. Okay, what is the storage spaces feature? You will use storage spaces to add physical disks of any type and size to a storage pool, and then create highly available virtual disks from a storage pool. To create a virtual disk, all you have to do is have one or more than one physical disk, create a storage pool that includes the disk, and virtual drive that can be created with the disk from the storage pool. I don't know if you remember, I done this demo for you a few minutes ago. Please watch the recording or get it back. It's basically a visit which will enable you to create some spaces. Virtual drives are not virtual hard disks. Keep in mind they are separate. VHDs are basically offline hard disks which you can boot online. They should be considered a drive in a disk manager. Okay? You can have this layout. Please have a look. It's not that fancy. You can do all this via PowerShell as well. If you want more information about PowerShell, please go to PowerShell.com or to my blog. And here's an example. One second. Here's my blog. You can basically come. It's my name, erdal.com or yourmc.com. You can basically come here, search Windows Server, and let's type in the server. Here we go. This is for your PowerShell. And if not, just come from here to Windows Server. You will see that I got many videos about Windows Server for you. A couple of free books. Please keep an eye on my blog to get more information about this. Okay, let's answer the question. The question says, resilient file system. Is it new? Yes, the REFS, it's new in 2012, and it is not the default, but you can just change to REFS. Sorry, it's a default, but it is support NTFS. So the question asks, what is integrity? Okay, integrity means, how can I explain it to you? Think about REFS. Okay, the REFS stores data, so it is protected from many of the common errors that can cause data loss. File system metadata is always protected. You can have different options, such as user data can be also protected if it's in a volume. So per volume, per directory, per file basics. Let's say a corruption occurs. As soon as the REFS detects it, it will check the storage spaces, and if it can, it will try to automatically correct the corruption. If the event of a system error happens, REFS is designed to recover it from the errors as soon as possible, as Microsoft calls it, rapidly. And it does not require the volume to go down. It's fast and it's designed to be online. Alright, the other question is, what is this part of Windows 8 as well? At this stage, it's only for Windows 2012. Question, yes, it is also the default in 2012 R2. As you know, Microsoft has just announced this week here at Microsoft Tech at Madrid. Actually, they done it at Tech at North America. Now, there is no service pack. If you're running Windows Server 2012, you can now upgrade to Windows Server 2012 R2. The question says if it's free. No, it's not free. If you have CALs, like the client user access, then you can use the same CALs against your Server 2012 R2, but you have to still buy the physical license to upgrade from 2012 to R2. And yes, if you have software assurance, it will be free upgrade for you, as software assurance will cover this for you. Alright, let me see if there is any other questions. One of the questions is asking the data center. Data center has unlimited virtualization licenses, yes, but keep in mind, it will only give you licensing for your virtual instance. Let's say you're going to install a Windows 8 in this virtual instance, you have to also buy a separate licensing to your Windows 8. So if it's Linux, of course, if it's Red Hat, it's not free, but if it's the free Ubuntu, then it's free, yes. I'm just scrolling down. Does it support USB 3? The answer is definitely yes. Alright, I don't see any more questions. So if you got any question, please type it into your question area. And I'm more than happy to answer these questions for you. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. Where can you get more information? As I said, you can go to my blog, which is www.yourmc.com. Just search it up there. To download Windows 2012, all what you have to do is go to microsoft.com/server. Yes, the question is, can you watch my sessions from TechEd? Yes, all what you have to do is go to channel9.msdn.com. Here's the URL again. Hold on. channel9msdn.com. From there, go to events, TechEd, or easy, come here, type my name. Come here, type my name, Erdal. Just search. Thanks God, I'm the only Erdal here. And you can watch all my recorded sessions from here. This is from TechEd Europe, this is from TechEd America, this is from MMS, this is from TechEd North America last year, TechEd Australia, TechEd New Zealand, TechEd 2010, 2009, 2008, and it goes so down, so you can watch all the sessions from here. Yes. I don't see any other questions. Alright, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, Steven is going to be together with you in week 3, and I'm going to be at week 4 with you, so I'm looking forward to see you at week 4. Thank you very much for joining the CSU IT Masters free 2012 course, and I'm looking forward to see you next week. If you missed the session, you will find it in YouTube. You can watch it whenever you like, again, and again. Hold on. This question, can you see my face? Yes, of course, hold on. Someone wants to see my face. Sorry, I'm not George Clooney, but if you want to get more information about me, just come to to about me. You want to see my pictures? Hold on. Timeline, here we go. That's me. That's me here. Oh yeah, I was selected best speaker at TechEd Australia. That's me. You can basically come to my blog and have enough of me. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks very much for joining the IT Masters Charles Stewart University webcast. See you in week 4. Bye bye.